Hello, it's Kay. Welcome to the 18th episode of my life journey. As you remember in the previous episode, we talked about disciplining the inner child and how that process helps us to move toward real change. And today, in this episode, this video, I want to share an update on my progress in putting SAR's instructions into action. I want to talk about what I've done in the past few months and, how much I could, you know, put my life coach's lessons into action and how much I've changed. So, with that said, let's get into it. I've been practicing silence of mind every single day in the past few months, right after my life coach instructed and told me to do so. Except for a few days that I was so sick that I was bedridden the entire day. Other than that, I don't remember, missing any day out of, laziness or negligence. And as a result, I've seen some considerable changes in my focus levels and, concentration levels. Yeah, these advancements were in my about my awareness. I feel I'm a lot more aware of anything that happens around me, and the way I feel, I perceive and sense things has changed. Do you feel what I mean? Like, even when I eat, even when I drink something, yeah, compared to a few months ago, I feel that, yeah, they taste a bit not different but more intense. I can say I'm sharper and more precise of anything that is happening around me. Yeah, and I I've seen that I care more about details, and I feel like my mind is more robust in tackling problems and challenges that come my way. It's kind of hard to put it into words because it's more about uh, feelings and how I perceive. But yeah, this way I just tried my best to describe it this way. The duration of my practice varies based on my schedule, but I do anything I can to put in at least 1 hour each day. Sometimes all at once, in a single shot, let's say, and sometimes divided into two parts, or even, rarely, but it happened for me to divide it into three parts. And, mostly I do it once in the morning and once in the evening or at night before going to bed. I can feel my mind has grown. Why? Because there are noticeable changes in the types of thoughts that come to my mind during the day, or most importantly, when I do that practice, compared to past, compared to 6 or 7 months ago. Uh, as I've discussed before, when we try to still our body and mind, and when we try to get totally silent and without any movement, we notice that our mind doesn't want to stop functioning at all, and actually it gets louder. Why it gets louder? Like, it doesn't get actually louder. It's, I think, just because uh, during the day when we are just functioning normally, we don't focus our attention on our unconscious mind and our thoughts typically. And yeah, when we do that practice and when we get so silent and still, uh, we just can hear what's going on in our head more because our attention is on it, simply. I realize this only then that, I can listen to my thoughts and unconscious mind. Does that make sense? This is the important point that I wanted to, you know, give importance to. The thing is, uh, it's only then that, it's only in that time when I can, in simple terms, see and feel what my inner child has to say, and, what's going on in, those deeper layers of my mind. Around 6 or 7 months ago, when I started to, do this practice and try to get silent and meditate, I remember what types of thoughts and sentences and, scenarios that used to come to my head. They were all inappropriate, unimportant, or irrelevant to my path of growth. They were not in my benefit. You know, they didn't add anything to my life. They actually decreased my energy, that pure, they killed my motivation, and, they kind of killed my, how can I say, that, life energy that I can put into construction, to learn, to grow, to, try better things. And yeah, let me get more vulnerable and honest with you here. Let me come up with a few examples to describe and show you what I mean. Yeah, I used to care a lot about people's words and sentences in a bad way. Like, I used to say, why did that girl or that guy say that to me? Why did they behave like that? What do they mean? What is behind their thoughts? I should have, responded worse. I should have put them in their place so they never repeat those, you know, sentences or actions to me. These types of things. Do they make sense? Yeah. Even I used to judge people a lot, from, people around me to farther, to that celebrity or that politician who said that or did that, wondering why the hell do they think that way? Why the hell do they do this? They're all wrong. They're not right. I am wrong. I am right. I'm surely under, right type of mindset. And so on, you can just come up with more awkward things that I, yeah, I confess that used to come to my head. There were also sexual thoughts, in every shape or form, about how I should act with girls, or, the opposite gender, you know, how I should behave with them, how I should, act in the games I push them or they pull me in to come out as the winner, or other similar imaginations. I don't want to, yeah, put them more into words, but you know what I mean. I would also get caught up, in weakening thoughts that told me, man, what's this ridiculous path that you have chosen and have started? You're starting to look like a monk or ascetic, You're just, let's say, cutting ties and withdrawing from world, and you're just isolating yourself. And what the hell is that? Relax a little bit. Stop being that way, stop being that hard on yourself. Where do you even think you can go with these little, changes and actions, with these lessons that you're putting into actions? These efforts will not take you anywhere. Yeah, reaching a higher status with these types of things, with focusing too much, with just, trying, you know, hard even on weekends, and, doing some type of meditation, or, distancing yourself, you know, yeah. And also these types of thoughts used to come to my head a lot. You should have been born into a special family, or you should have had you should have been born in, certain circumstances to grow, to reach somewhere, which you didn't. So why are you struggling so hard? Why are you, you know pushing hard for nothing? And of course, there are other negative thoughts that I don't want to detail further, but trust me, I've experienced them all in very awkward ways. Yet here's how I feel after 6 or 7 months. My mind has started to change completely. It started to think more positively, and, you know, exactly opposite to the things I said. Let me come up with some examples about what people say around me. I don't, you know, I don't have that, guard anymore. I don't want to put them in their place, or, if even if they are, treating me, and, if their demeanor is bad toward me, I come from a place of maturity. Like, okay, maybe they are wrong. Maybe they have some bad things going on in their life. Maybe in that morning, maybe they didn't sleep well last night. Maybe yesterday night or in the morning they just faced something bad, negative, that made their mood, you know, change. And so I should ignore that. I should let it go. Yeah, this is so much different, and I'm very happy about it. About judging people's actions, it changed drastically, like extremely. I don't give myself a chance to judge anyone, people around me, my friends, relatives, you know, co-workers, to that celebrity or politician, or, the, singer, anyone I see uh, on TV, anywhere, on media. I don't, talk to myself like, why are they're all wrong and they should be like that and like this. No, I just started to think like, okay, it's their life. They have their own free will. They have the choice to, you know, act how they want. And okay, I'm not trying to, fix them or tell them what to do, but even if I think they are wrong, I should be acting right myself first, and hope for them to, you know, get better. Or maybe they're right and I'm not in, in their place. I'm not in their shoes, to feel what they're going through. And, yeah, I just should care more about my actions. That's it. I should disconnect myself from what people think and what people do. And this is so much different. This kind of detachment is helping me a lot, is helping me to save a lot of energy, and, save a lot of mind energy. Yeah, my mind, let me tell you, my mind still tries to play with me and mislead me, uh, but in a much more mature way, I can say. You know, my thoughts are more logical and, I can say even more profound, not shallow as before. But yeah, when my inner child wants to be playful and mislead me, it it just does it with more profound things. For example, about the things that I've been learning in the past few months. As I said, I'm a university student. My field is physics, and I'm learning a lot of concepts in this field. And I'm learning some programming languages and about AI. So, yeah, my mind, instead of those thoughts that I said, is being playful about, hmm, how can how can I build a rocket that can go to another planet without running out of fuel? Yeah, does that make sense? Or how AI could be, more used in ways that haven't been done so far. What can I create? What can I build? Maybe if I do this, you know, that can be something very big, something huge. Things in this sense. I'm not, by the way, claiming my thoughts are always deep and, sophisticated. No, no, definitely not. But I've noticed that my inner child and unconscious mind have matured a lot compared to past. Like, you know, all that negativity got decreased to, I don't know, somewhere around 1/5 or 1/10, compared to 6 months ago. This is what I'm saying. I'm not a robot, I'm a human being. I get tired at times. I get sometimes bored. I get, angry too. I become hopeless too. But I say a lot less compared to the past. Like, they can't push me anymore. They cannot push me as that is strong. And, they cannot push me toward worthless and, shallow thoughts about jealousy, resentment, envy, or, meaningless rivalries and competitions and, other negative feelings that you can name. Over the past few months, I've tried so hard to stay aware in my silence, whenever I was doing that practice. And whenever those pointless thoughts and scenarios come to my head, I tell them to leave. I tell them to leave and never come back. And a few months ago, whenever I did so, those thoughts would leave me and come back very soon. Maybe a few seconds later, up to a few minutes later. But guess what? Now, whenever I push them away, I see them less, It takes longer for them to come back. Sometimes they never come back. I can push them away more stronger. Whenever I tell them leave, they really go and never come back. Or at least they come back a few hours later. They just got decreased, and I see this as an achievement. This is exactly what SAR told me a few months ago that will happen. When he explained this, I couldn't really get what he means. Like, what? I'm just gonna see changes in my thoughts, and I tell them go, and they go, and it just didn't make sense. But now it's making a good sense because I'm feeling it, I'm experiencing it, and uh, I I don't think it will go to zero. As we are human beings, and as he discussed, it's never going to get zero. But the more it decreases, the more we benefit from it. Is that clear? And yeah, it feels like something inside me has changed, and my mind is being trained every day, every single day, little by little, step by step. As you all know, I'm neither your teacher nor your instructor. I'm not sharing these experiences and lessons to force you or tell you that you have to do them and you have to follow them as well. No, no, no. I'm actually not trying to sell you anything. That's not my purpose. I actually see myself as a student too in these things. Like, I see myself as someone who is searching and investigating, you know, good things to get better and better day by day. I don't want to be in the position never, you know, to see myself as someone who knows things and others have to follow him. This is simply my story, you know, of transformation from where I was to where and what I've reached so far. Any in a very straightforward and outspoken way. Do you feel what I mean? For those who might have been or might be in the same situation as I was. I mean, if you're dealing with the same problems and challenges, just be sure that someone else probably experienced them all in worse ways, and that is me. So you're not alone. And if you really want real change, that's possible. That can happen if you really want. Of course, it's not done by doing nothing and expecting things to work out by on their own, but you know what I'm trying to say is small changes, small lessons, given enough amount of time, this can lead to huge results, huge outcome. Like, it's like a gym. Have you gone to gym? It's like a mental gym. It's like doing sports. You have you have to do reps. You have to do reps, and you have to do them long enough. You have to give it time, like months, years, until your muscles grow. And this is the same thing, but as my life coach discussed, this is a gym for our minds, and by doing these practices, the muscles of our minds grow day by day. And what happens is, if our minds get stronger, this will benefit us in every aspects of our life. It's not like, gym that only benefits you physically. It will benefit you physically, mentally, in every aspect of life. As simple as that. This week and next week, I'll talk more about the changes that I've gone through in the past 6 or 7 months on this path of transformation. Hopefully, this can give you a clear view of how, small but consistent efforts, despite our human shortcomings, can shift everything. So until next time, see you. Forward.